How's it going, guys? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So check it out. The market flipped red today. Well, I guess the Dow had a 0.1% green day, pretty much at break even, but every other index was up earlier in the day, and clearly we gave back all the gains and some. The S&P closed down over 0.25%, Q's down about 0.5%, as the Russell went down about 0.3, 0.4%. So in this video, guys, we're going to break down the indices quickly, but I want to focus more so on SoFi and break down some earnings here from Robinhood, Lyft, couple other companies. So hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join the Patreon for my portfolio updates and private Discord that's linked right down below, also pinned in the comments. And now let's get into it. So right here, you're seeing the price action of SoFi, which went down over 0.75% today after hitting $22 a share in the morning. This morning at about 10:45, we hit $22, and then we pretty much cratered in the middle of the day, down to $21, and then we kind of consolidated there for the last 2 hours of trading at about 21 a share. We closed a little bit over, right, at 21.18, and now we're down in the aftermarket after Robinhood reported earnings, which we'll cover that here in a couple of minutes, guys. So SoFi took out the highs from yesterday, right, and the day before that, and the day before that. So we were looking great in the morning, but then again, like I said, we tanked in the middle of the day, and now we're holding above 21 by a thread, which is a major support here from this morning, from yesterday, looks like here from Friday as well. So SoFi is at a pivotal spot, which if you look at the 1 hour chart, we're still getting rejected at these moving averages, which we got to get over them. This is a critical spot, and we're still getting rejected. We tried breaking out this morning, but we failed, clearly. And now, again, we're holding above 21 by a thread to the point where, okay, if we take 21 out, this could be going back to the teens. That's the reality. The downtrend could continue here. But we'll see. We'll see if it takes out, if it's able to take out 22, 22.50, 23 a share. That would be a good sign. So SoFi does look like it's gaining some momentum as it is breaking through the past couple of days highs. But again, keep your eyes on the downtrend on that 20-day and on this 4-hour chart, as we're still under the 50 moving average and well under the 180 here on this time frame. And with today's price action, we're getting rejected at that 50 SMA. So yeah, at this point, guys, that's what we're dealing with. And the fact that the market is flipping red, Robinhood's tanking right now. I looked at the stock. It's not looking too pretty, or at least it wasn't about 5 minutes ago. Who knows? It might have went up now. We'll see. But that's a quick rundown there. Let's pull up Robinhood, because this is, I mean, look, not a direct competitor to SoFi in the sense of them offering the exact same products. But yeah, I mean, they are a competitor to SoFi, and the stock is down $5 a share after the bell here. We got down to 77 at the low after closing at 85.75 a share. So we went down about 10% initially when the numbers came out, and now it's at $80 a share. And for reference, it's only 4:24 p.m. East Coast time, so the call didn't start yet. We'll see how the price action looks during and after the call, but the earnings are fresh off the press right now, and you're watching this video probably around 4:45, 5 p.m., so pretty fresh off the press, and they did EPS of 66 cents versus 62 cents expected from analysts for Q4 EPS. That beat, but sales missed, guys. $1.28 billion versus $1.34 billion. So they missed on top line, which is not ideal. And you guys know Robinhood, I mean, at this point, they're heavily in obviously the stock market, but with crypto investing as well. Now they're getting into, the prediction markets, all the other crap they're getting into, which I don't necessarily like. I've been critical about that. I've talked about that here on the channel. I think if you're a long-term investor, I think Robinhood's not the best platform for you, especially if you're just starting out. I mean, if you're seasoned and you're, 40, 50, 60 in your 30s, if you're seasoned in your 20s, even whatever, right? You're probably not going to go to Robinhood and fall for these traps. But if you're a beginner investor, guys, and by the way, if you're seasoned, you're probably not going to Robinhood anyway, and you wouldn't really fall for these traps. But if you're a beginner, I've talked about this before. You're going to get sucked into the predictions markets, the sports, the this, the that. You're going to invest in the market, and then a year or two goes by, you're like, oh, let me just mess around with these prediction markets, this, that, and I think that is detrimental to your overall investing journey. So, I mean, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Robinhood as a platform, but there's no doubt that they make a ton of money. They do well. The stock's done well. But at this point, with it being heavily in crypto and crypto's down 50%, this is going to impact or show impact in their numbers. Maybe not this quarter, but the next potentially, as clearly trading has probably gone down. Interest has gone down as Bitcoin's cut in half. But we'll see here. It looks like, again, 66 cents EPS versus 62. That beat. And again, they missed on sales. We can see transaction-based equities revenue at $94 million versus the estimate of $96 million. So that missed. It looks like here transaction-based options revenue at $314 million versus the $332 million expected. So that missed as well. Crypto revenue, $221 versus $259 million. So yeah, they're definitely seeing an effect in the last quarter, and for sure this quarter coming up, guys, Q1, right? It's going to be rough. So Robinhood at this point, I think it's not a great buy personally, and that's coming from somebody that has been watching the stock for a while. I'm not running and chasing Robinhood right now because I feel like the next quarter is going to be rough. Not terrible. The stock market's still at all-time highs, but since they have such a big hand in crypto as well, those volumes are down, guys. The numbers are not going to be pretty. So this stock could come down, but how much lower? I mean, I don't see it coming much lower. Maybe, it's at what, 78 now? Maybe it comes down to 60, 65. Do I think it's going to go down to 30 where it was back last April? No, I don't think it's going to get that low. But could it get, in this window between 60 to 75? Yes. And I think that could be an interesting buy window, but not necessarily here because I think their upcoming quarter is going to be bad. But we'll get more insight on the call about that. And maybe it gets reflected in the stock price before the next quarter comes around. There are a lot of factors going on around that, but at this point, Robinhood, I'm not interested. It's down 26%, I think, year to date, which is insane. And for me, I want to see the trend break back up to even consider getting in. So that's a quick rundown on Robinhood. Again, it is a competitor to SoFi, but they're not the same business. Obviously, they do different things here. But it looks like Q4 total platform assets, $324 billion. Pretty good there. So yeah, I mean, again, I'm not a big fan of the valuation here or the platform because I think it sucks people away from actually investing long term and making sound investments and sound trades. I think it pushes people to gamble too much, whether it's options, whether it's now prediction markets. I freaking hate that stuff, guys. Sports gambling. I mean, look, I gamble sometimes, but people these days are straight up addicted to gambling, straight up addicted to sports gambling, and nothing pisses me off more than that. One big thing I, try and get people to do is get their money invested in the stock market. I'm not pitching this stock or that stock. All I'm saying is I want people to get their money invested in the S&P 500, and here they are, gambling, sports gambling. And I'm talking about the average Joe, right? that's one of my, one of my goals, or one of my missions when I first started making content, was to get more people investing, to learn more about investing, get their money working. And, they're getting sucked into sports gambling, which is taking money out of their pockets, which could be going into the, into the stock market, which, yeah, sports gambling. I mean, it's just ridiculous, guys. And if you do it for fun, right, once in a while, by all means, go for it. But people do it every freaking day. It's a problem. So Lyft also reported earnings. Let's see here. We can see they did EPS of, oh man, they missed badly on sales. 1.6 versus $1.75 billion. What was their EPS? That's what I want to see, guys. Earnings per share for Lyft, if I can even find it. I might not be able to find it. Gross bookings, it looks like here, $5.07 billion worth. Buyback, they authorized a $1 billion buyback. Q4 active riders, 29.2 million. So look, guys, I got to keep it real. When it comes to Lyft, I'm not going to invest in this company. I'm much rather buy the winner in the category, which clearly is Uber. You know what I mean? It's clearly Uber. If you guys look at the max chart, Lyft IPO'd when? In 2019, and it's been downhill for the last 7 years. Uber IPO'd God knows when, maybe around the same time. I guess right around the same time. And it's been up since, right? And now it's actually on a nice drawdown, which I'm not really considering buying this stock. But I mean, the chart looks a lot better, and I think it could be a decent trade, depending on when we reverse, how long that takes to pan out. But Lyft, I think Uber is the play over Lyft. And long term, this whole space is going to be interesting with autonomous vehicles, Tesla in the mix. You got Waymo, you have Uber being the platform. Are they going to get kicked out? Are they going to get, completely cut out if Waymo makes their own app or Tesla comes in with their own app? There's a lot in this space. There's a lot of risk, I think, to Uber and Lyft in the future with autonomous vehicles, especially to Lyft, because they're the second in line here. Uber is the top dog. Lyft might be screwed. Honestly, in 5-10 years, Lyft could be gone for all we know. You know what I mean? But Uber, I think, will be okay. But in the world of autonomous vehicles, I would rather own Tesla stock than Uber stock. I'd much rather own Google than Uber, and Google owns a bunch of Waymo, obviously. So, yeah, that's a little rundown there on Uber and Lyft. Upstart, I don't even know why I'm going to talk about Upstart's earnings, but they just came out. Might as well look. Why not? This stock's been demolished, and it looks like it is up a little bit, but not much. It's creeping up about 2%. We hit 45 initially, so we were up like 15%. But now we're coming down a little bit. Looks like Upstart reported GAAP EPS 17 cents. That beat the 15 cents. Okay, not bad. Sales 296 million versus 288 million, and they see full year 26 sales of $1.4 billion versus 1.27. So actually pretty good sales guidance for full year 26. Double beat out of Upstart, and it is seeing some momentum. And actually, it's giving back a lot of the gains from that $45 initial pop. So that could be where we make some money on a trade here, guys. Maybe tomorrow. I'm going to keep an eye on it for that exact reason, as maybe Upstart's a little too beaten up, and now they just guided up for full year revenue. This could be a runner potentially. We do have to break, I would say, the mid 40s. That's a big resistance. Honestly, $50 as well. And if that breaks, we could be a legitimate runner from there. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. I think 50% of you guys don't hit the subscribe button and you watch the content. So if you're on YouTube, we're trying to get to 100,000 subs. That's been my goal for years at this point, guys. So feel free to subscribe. Hit the follow button if you're watching on Facebook. Join my Patreon for my portfolio updates and my private Discord. We're investing $750 a week right now. We're buying stocks. You guys see all my trades, investments, options moves, the whole portfolio breakdown every single week, right? All on Patreon. Link down below, also pinned in the comments, or go to StockSurfFest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you all in the next video.